All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, a $100 million initiative to look for and support 10,000 African entrepreneurs over the next decade is already getting some results. The Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, the first initiative of its kind to be launched by an African philanthropic organization, is designed to empower the next generation of African entrepreneurs, like our two guests this morning, Carlos Moyo and Rodrigo Tose, who took part in the 12-week training program. And let's welcome them into studio. So good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Tell us a little bit more about this program. Just give us a bit more background. I don't know who wants to take that one. Would you like to talk about that?
So basically, the program is part of a concept called Afro-Capitalism, which basically aims at ensuring that the next generation of African entrepreneurs starts with the idea and the how should I put it across? They are tasked with the ability and everything that they need to make sure that Africa's destiny is put in its own hands and its own young people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so in a nutshell, that's what it's all about. So tell us a little bit more about this. How was it for you, Rodrigo?
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience because it opened us to that idea that one with a good idea and good training could realize his potential, his dream, and that's what this whole program was about. Giving a chance to African entrepreneurs with good idea to be able to make the dream come true. In a way where it was not only about giving people money or aid or grants, but it was about empowering them with the skill sets they needed to realize their potential.
Yeah, and to give the training so that these
training.
Ideas are sustainable through your life.
Exactly.
Yes. Which is important. Yes. So Carlos, what is your idea? I mean, what was it that you sort of coming in at and your business idea?
All right. So my business idea basically focuses on property and the real estate in the inner CBDs. Being somebody who's based in Johannesburg, that's where we're going to start, but the intention would be to expand. So basically, our property idea aims at renovating inner CBDs, buying existing buildings that are being dilapidated, and then over time, converting these into residential apartments for student residences and young women who live in the CBDs.
Wonderful. So this is your idea. Has it started, or is it still something that you're working towards?
It has started already. We have actually earmarked the building in the CBD. It's a 3-story building with the intention of converting it into 57 units that will be used by our hardworking women.
That's fantastic. That's a really great idea. I mean, not having the support of this initiative behind you, would you ever have been able to even start this?
It would have been very difficult. I mean, the road of an entrepreneur is not the easiest one when you consider that 95% of startups fail within the first 2 years. So it is a lonely journey, and it actually helps when you have such programs, such foundations, and such forums, because they create a support structure where you can interact with certain individuals who can help you and who are in the same boat as you, which assist an entrepreneur in trying to realize their dreams and making them come true.
Yeah. Tell us about your idea.
My idea was about to create a website where it's a social media site where encourage African to basically consume their own content. Started contacting small blogs and a small website, news site, and aggregating them into their own page and redistributing their contents to social media users that will most likely be interested in reading those content.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I mean, we talk about entrepreneurship on the continent, and I mean, the ideas that you have here, this is the root of entrepreneurship and what makes it so important. And this is what drives and fuels economies when you look at developed worlds and developed countries. So, I mean, something like this, these ideas that you've gotten here, I mean, when we talk about employment, what are we looking at? I mean, your idea, Rodrigo, job employment, how many are you looking at? What could you potentially do?
We are planning on expanding all across Africa and aggregating more content. It will give a job to our bloggers, our news creator, our video maker. Being amateur will give them that opportunity to showcase the content out there to other African people.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at engineers and programmers. The more we grow, the more we're gonna need people able to write those softwares and maintain those servers and etc. all across Africa.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
That's absolutely fantastic. It really is. But do you think entrepreneurship should be taught at schools from a very young age here on the continent? Because I mean, this is what we need. We need brains like yours.
I definitely think it's something that has to be considered and it has to be taught at an early age. Because same way sports is getting more and more exposure to the mainstream, I think entrepreneurship also deserves the same. Not everybody is going to be good in school, and the jobs of the future are not going to come from getting a degree and being employed. But you know, if one person creates a company, like what he was saying, and then you employ 50 people, that's feeding 50 families.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that Africa is actually going to grow and compete with the Europes of this world.
Yeah, indeed. And also moving with the trends, because
Yes.
we find, I mean, I heard, you know, we have, there's so many issues of let's just take South Africa, for instance. I mean, you've got a certain way of doing things, but things are changing, and they're changing so fast, and we need to move with the changes. And that's where you come into it. I mean, you talk about social media.
Yes, exactly.
This is a big change. You talk about transport systems, and I'm just bringing, you know, taxi industry and what's happening with taxis and Uber. And this is the way of the future. We need to move with them.
Exactly.
So how do we keep updated? I mean, how vital is it that we move with the times?
Personally, I believe that technology will be one of the best way for us to keep up with the world. And then we have to start looking at those technology that solve our specific needs in Africa. Yeah. Especially, you gave example with the transportation system.
Indeed.
I know people who are working on great idea on that as well. And there are many other projects like that where people are able to use the knowledge to try to pinpoint a specific niche that needs solving and use technology to do so.
Yeah.
And that will change a lot. If we look at the future, we can say, just a simple example, by next year, there'll be over 1 billion smartphone in Africa.
Absolutely.
That is a lot to tap into, and I'm sure there's young people who are already looking into that.
Indeed, and there's no bigger and better way when it comes to communication than these smartphones. All right, gentlemen, you leave on Friday, is that right, for Lagos?
We're actually leaving today.
You leave today?
Yes,
I beg your pardon. So that's okay. So you leave today and you go off, and how long will you be there for?
There's going to be a boot camp in Nigeria. Starts tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, so it starts tomorrow.
Yes. So it will start tomorrow and it will run until Sunday.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I wish you the best of luck. I really do, and bring back what you've learnt, and let's create jobs and make this a better country. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Definitely.
Thank you.
All right, Carlos and Rodrigo leaving for Lagos. That's happening today. They start their boot camp tomorrow, and it's the Entrepreneurship boot camp that will bring together 1,000 participants from 51 African nations. Let's now take a look.